Let's talk about Copilot versus Banktivity versus Credit Sesame. And of course, we are speaking about personal finance software, right? So here are the considerations I want you to think about. I want to first start with Copilot. When you think about Copilot, I want you to think about a very innovative budgeting tool that actually is going to help you make budgeting and tracking your finances easier overall. So if you have used the Google or Chat GPT, you have experienced the benefit of finally whole natural language processing, so NLP. And what happens here is that through simple rules based on real language, you can filter through tons of information to find what you need, especially when it relates to your budget. Okay. And this is kind of cool. And so when you think about Copilot, think about an app designed to track your spending, build your budget, review investments, and help you establish credit. And it doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter what kind of job you have or how sophisticated financially you are. And so that's really good. You have no advertising partners. You can use natural language processing to make transaction categorization easier. And you also, so this is really good. And what we love about Copilot is that they actually were created 5 years ago. They actually were founded in 2019. So right around the start of COVID. And it took a long time to actually improve their capabilities, their modules, and so on and so forth. That's kind of cool. Well, one thing we love is that the company started getting attention around 2023. And so especially they have about 6,000 to 7,000 reviews as of now in the App Store. And those reviews are positive. Okay. So when you think about Copilot, think about an app that offers a user-centric approach to money management with helpful visualization and useful notifications. So you are able to have intuitive visualizations. You have spending tracker and budgets. So that's really good because then you have a spending tracker, you have a budgeting portion. And this is kind of cool because it doesn't matter, again, if you are an investor or you are just a regular everyday person, you will love this area, this idea of tracking your budget. You have an investment tracking module. You have a tool that supports crypto tracking, and also you have a notification flexibility. What we love also is that you have transaction categorization using NLP. When we talk about cost, Copilot actually costs anywhere from $13 to $15 per month, or $95 to $125 per year. Okay, I mean this is pretty affordable and pretty decent when you think about the benefits that such a tool can actually bring to your life. Okay, of course you can contact actually a Copilot for more information. You have they have an app. They have an app. So there's a in-app chat support. But if you want to contact the company, you can email Copilot at hello@copilot.money. And the company does not advertise a phone number or alternative contact method. So it's either email or in-app chat support. But the cool thing is that you have the ability to actually categorize and visualize your financial information a lot faster if you actually work with Copilot. Now, Copilot is not the only player. You have a lot of players in the personal finance space, especially when it comes to an app that actually targets the Gen Z, the Gen X, so the younger generation. I mean, you have players such as Tiller. You have YNAB. YNAB, you need a budget. They offer similar customizability as Copilot, but neither of this has built in actually a learning process that helps you use NLP to visualize your finances a lot better. Other apps like Mint or Empower, formerly Personal Capital, are almost as much. They offer almost as much functionality as Copilot, and they are free. Now, Mint actually was retired not long ago, so And so when you think about Copilot, think about a tool that is in a very crowded marketplace. But do they have a position to actually grab? Yes. In other words, is Copilot worth it? Yes. Using Copilot is a pleasure. If you have an hour to set up the app to your liking, it's great to log in and get a meaningful status update on your money without wading through unnecessary garbage. And so when you don't consider cost, Copilot is one of the best general personal finance apps available. The only hang up with Copilot is the cost, right? At $95 to $125 per year. I mean, for some people, this could be a lot of cash. And so if you don't really, if you cannot afford it, then you can go to another personal finance software that's actually free. And one thing I want to say here is that if you have any question, it's always better to contact Copilot first before actually making a move, because they don't have a free trial. That's the thing. Let's talk about the second personal finance app. You have Banktivity. So we're also having a conversation about Copilot versus Banktivity versus Credit Sesame. So when you think about Banktivity, think about a tool that's really great for app users. So Quicken is a popular personal finance software, but it is designed strictly for Windows users. So if you use Mac, Quicken is not an option for you. So that's where Banktivity comes into the picture, because Banktivity is the personal finance software app designed specifically for Mac devices. And so it's some of those things you have to think where you're finding yourself at. And one thing I want to say here is that when you think about Banktivity, Banktivity works in a very streamlined manner. Banktivity works by connecting all of your financial accounts in one place so you can make smarter decisions. You sync your accounts on the app, and the information is held on the Banktivity private and secure cloud. And the app can be set up in a matter of minutes. You can connect to more than 14,000 different banks, and the app even allows you to track the value of your home and any other real estate you own. So that's really good. And once you have set up the app and synced your financial accounts, you can set up digital envelope budgeting that will give you complete control over your finances by enabling you to make a plan for spending every dollar out of your paycheck. And you can actually make payments using either cash, checks, debit cards, or credit cards. And what we love about Banktivity is that it even prioritizes your budget, putting your most important envelopes first. From there, you start filling your less important envelopes. And when an envelope is empty, it means no more spending can happen in that category. And the app also allows you to adjust for overspending in a category. When you do, you move money from another envelope to cover the higher expense in the other category. So this keeps you from having to borrow money or, let's say, tap savings to cover the excess expense. So you are able to set goals in the app, not a problem. And you can also basically sign up for Banktivity on the website or through the app, okay? In terms of Banktivity features and benefits, you have savings rate, net worth, non-US customers. So Banktivity is available internationally. In fact, they have thousands of users in over 50 countries. You have customer support, and there is no phone contact, but you can reach a staff member either by live chat or by opening a support ticket. You can also check the website FAQ page or search support articles for answers to your questions. You have Banktivity security, very, very, very solid. Free resources, fantastic. You have investment tracking. That's really cool. In terms of pricing, Banktivity actually, when you sign up for the app, you can use it for free for 30 days. And you don't even need to put a credit card on file. So that's really good. Now, when the 30-day trial is over, you'll be notified, giving you an opportunity to purchase the app. And so pricing for the 3 versions is as follows. You have Banktivity. Currently, they're charging you they used to have a Banktivity personalized plan, Banktivity 6 and Banktivity 7. Now, the latest version of Banktivity 7, and they're charging you about $70 per year, actually, per year. So you have to see what works for you, okay? And one thing I want to say here is that PayPal payments are accepted, but only when payments by credit cards are rejected by the online store. And Banktivity offers a 90-day money-back guarantee on all software purchased through their online store. If you're not, for any reason, satisfied with the purchase, you can contact customer support, and the purchase will be refunded in full. So this is kind of cool. Now, refunds on purchases made from iTunes App Store, Mac App Store, and retail store like the Apple Store, Office Depot, or Amazon.com will be determined by the refund policies of those vendors. So this is something that you need to really think about as you consider Banktivity. What are the pros and cons of Banktivity? Well, the pros first is great for Mac users. It's available internationally. You have a money back guarantee, and they easily connect to banks. You have a 30-day free trial. It's really fantastic. What are the cons here? It's only for Mac users. There's no phone support available, and it's kind of costly, $70. So so in terms of alternatives, you have Empower, you have Copilot, you have Credit Sesame. So let's talk about the third player into this conversation. You have Credit Sesame. So when you think about Credit Sesame, I want you to think about a tool that monitors your credit report for any changes, which helps catch identity theft early. It also uses AI to grade various aspects of your credit report to help you understand how your actions affect your credit score calculations. While you can access Credit Sesame's credit monitoring for free, it only shows you data from TransUnion. So you only have one reporting agency, one credit agency. While it's hard to complain about a free service, Credit Sesame's service still falls short compared to the free services that we actually see other credit monitoring services offer. So you probably understood by now that when we talk about Credit Sesame, we are primarily talking about credit monitoring, not personal finance, okay, not budgeting, not investment tracking. And the thing is, the Credit Sesame offers a premium subscription for $20 a month. And Premium Credit Sesame monitors your credit with all three credit bureaus. And this service also offers credit dispute assistance, identity theft insurance, and rent reporting. So this is kind of cool. And Credit Sesame also offers a credit building MasterCard debit card through a Sesame Cash. It's deposit account service. This card doesn't accrue interest and doesn't require an upfront security deposit, but you have to pay $9.99 monthly to use Sesame Cash, and an additional $3 in activity fee if you don't use the service within a 30-day rolling period. However, you can waive those fees with qualifying account activity, so that's kind of cool. And so while having these services under the same subscription service is convenient, Credit Sesame doesn't perform them particularly well. Its rent reporting feature only reports to TransUnion and Equifax. Its credit dispute service, while personalized, only offers assistance with disputes. It doesn't actually dispute anything on your behalf. And while identity theft insurance is nice to have, it comes standard with most identity theft protection services. And while the debit card is another great convenience, provided that you are willing to pay $10 monthly, there are cheaper options among the best credit builder accounts. So something to really think about. In terms of Credit Sesame key features, you have credit monitoring. You have Sesame Cash Credit Builder. So that's an important element to think about. You have Credit Sesame rent reporting. You have Credit Sesame dispute resolution. So you have a lot of flexibility there. So you also have other features that you have to consider when you think about Credit Sesame. Depending on which plan you buy, Credit Sesame offers this non-credit related services. You have quote comparisons, so you can compare prices from loan, insurance, and credit card companies. You have identity theft insurance, so you can get up to $1 million in identity theft insurance coverage. You have identity monitoring services, so you can receive alerts for suspicious activity related to your identity. And you also have 24/7 live assistance. You can work with a live representative to cancel and reissue your lost or stolen cars. So that's kind of cool. But again, you have to think about paying $20, okay? Now, the thing is that when you think about Credit Sesame, you are thinking about another category. Of course, the service might help you actually track your finances, but what's really important is that you have to see that you are actually primarily signing up for a credit monitoring service. So in that category, you have a Credit Karma, you have Capital One, Credit Wise, you have so you have a lot of players, okay? And so one thing I want to say here is that basically Credit Sesame is accurate, but the only thing is they pull data only from TransUnion. So reviewing your credit activity from all three bureaus is essential to get a complete picture of your credit file. If you just get data from TransUnion, I mean, who's telling you that Experian and Equifax or your data in those two agencies is actually safe or actually accurate. But you can trust Credit Sesame. I mean, basically, if you're talking about data from TransUnion, no problem at all. This is really great. And the company is also FDIC insured and uses data encryption to protect your information, right? And at the end of the day, if you were to go with Credit Sesame, it's just better to go with a free version, for instance, Credit Karma, because if you're looking for a free credit monitoring service, Credit Karma shows credit from TransUnion and Equifax. On the other hand, Credit Sesame offers a credit builder that lets you build your credit score from purchases made on your debit card. So you have the possibility to say whether this is good or this is not really good. Okay, and also you have to ask yourself: are you looking for just your TransUnion credit score, or you are interested in just the full picture? So what's the choice here? Copilot versus Banktivity versus Credit Sesame. You gotta first ask yourself a very important question. And it doesn't matter if you are actually in your 20s, your 30s, or your 40s, or even later in life. Are you looking for a credit monitoring service, or are you looking for a personal finance software tool? And what kind of a device do you use? Do you have a Mac? Do you have a Windows device, right? It's important to understand that when we talk about personal finance management software, for instance, we are talking about tools that include desktop and mobile apps that offer budgeting, account tracking, financial reports, banking, payments, and other financial tools. More and more financial companies offer mobile device support and online access. And personal finance management software helps users aggregate these accounts and access everything in one place. And when we talk about personal finance management software, you have different types of tools. You have budgeting apps, you have investment tracking apps, you have credit monitoring apps, you have payment apps. Okay, and so this is important. And so, how do you set up and use personal finance management software? Well, most personal finance management software lets you sign up online or download a mobile app to get started. And so you just need to sign up for an account, link your financial accounts, your bank accounts, your insurance accounts, your investment accounts. You want to create a budget, or depending on the app, you can have goals. You want to set up alerts. You want to track your progress, right? Once you set up alerts, you have to be able to actually follow through. And how do you actually choose a management software for personal finance? Well, you got to really ask yourself, are you looking, as I said before, cost is important. Flexibility is important. Your situation in life is important. What kinds of benchmarking do you want to track? Do you want to track Do you want to track investment benchmarking? Do you want to track budgeting benchmarking? Do you want to track credit benchmarking? You also have to think about the cost, right? So while some personal finance software is free, many come with a monthly or annual cost. The more expensive software may be worth it to some, but a higher cost doesn't always result in a better service. So you got to ask yourself, what are you looking for, right? What are your goals, really? And so big question is, when we talk about those three players, what is the selection here? Copilot versus Banktivity versus Credit Sesame. Which one should you go for? Our choice is pretty simple, Copilot. Copilot is actually the best of the three in our view, even though Copilot is relatively young as a company, but Banktivity is great if you are a Mac user, and Credit Sesame is actually wonderful if you are looking to monitor your credit. But if you're looking for strictly for personal finance, for budgeting, for investment, you want to go with Copilot. Thank you so much for your attention. Here's the bottom line. In today's conversation, I spoke to you about Copilot versus Banktivity versus Credit Sesame. I give you the considerations, and then I give you the choice, and then the selection. Thank you so much. God bless you. I'll see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.